Welcome to today's GibbsCAM Tech Tip. In this video, I will be going over how we can utilize the Feature Manager to speed up our workflow and make the tedious task of multiple face selection a bit easier. This is extremely useful when you find yourself having to go around and select several surfaces for a certain cut, and we may be tasked with having to do this several times for multiple operations, but once set up with a single click, the Feature Manager will help us select everything. So I'm going to turn off my rendering here and zoom in on my part, and you can see I've got a bunch of 3D surfaces that I'm going to cut. I'm going to opt for the power of the 5th axis module just to ensure that these surfaces blend seamlessly, but in order to drive that, I am going to have to come in here and select all of these individual surfaces, which of course is going to be a daunting task over time, especially if I deselect by accident and have to keep starting over. But once you get the Feature Manager set up, that thing will come in and save the day. So up to the top, we look for Features, and then down to Feature Manager. Now it's going to load this dialog, and you can see this first icon. If I hover over it, says Create Feature from Selected Solids and Geometry. So obviously I can't click that because I've got nothing selected. So that's going to be the first task, is to go around and just select all the surfaces that I want to add to my feature. So that's what I'll do. And I'm going to clean up the Select 3D Surfaces here, and maybe I'll remove these, come back and add them on later with a different strategy, or possibly to this. But really, I'm just going to focus on this part for now. But once I've got all of my surfaces selected, now I can click this icon. And this is going to allow me to create a new feature. I'm going to give it a name and a color. And then click OK. And just like that, our feature is set up. So now, if I accidentally deselect, I no longer have to go in and individually select each face. I can just open my Feature Manager and click the feature that I'm trying to highlight. This works really well with toolpath that is generated off the solid model. I can open this 5th axis process here and come over to my Surface Paths tab, select Drive Surface, and then select the feature in the Feature Manager. It highlights all the surfaces, populates the list. I click OK and hit Redo. And we should see the same toolpath, but there we got a bunch on the bottom. So I think when I opted to use the Select 3D Surfaces tool, it wanted to rope in the bottom surface here. So let me select the feature, and that's exactly what happened. So just as easily as we created this feature, we can modify it. So just alter it to what you want to be included. In this case, I want to remove this, so I'm going to hold down the Control key and single click that bottom surface. And now with this feature still highlighted, I'm going to click the third icon here, Modify Feature. And once I click that, it doesn't seem like much happened, but again, if I deselect and select the feature, we see that that bottom surface is removed. If I load my process and go to the Surface Paths tab, I can check Drive Surface, click this, it's going to repopulate with the new feature, click OK, redo, and we should see all that toolpath on the bottom of the part disappear. Just like that. Perfect. Now we did apply a color to this, and we're obviously not seeing that color. If you want to see it, then you need to switch from Gibbs color to feature color. And that will help you view the color that you applied to it. Now, if you don't have this icon here highlighted, then when you select your surfaces, it's not going to highlight them. So if I uncheck that and check this to select my surfaces, we see that it's not doing what we intend to do. It's not selecting them. It's not highlighting them. But once you select that icon, there they are. And then the one next to that is just going to zoom everything into your screen. And now there are a few other icons up here for attributes and things of that nature. So if you would like to know more about the Feature Manager or any other aspect of GibbsCAM, please feel free to reach out to your local reseller for more information.